107.5 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
We've only seen a very small sample size when it comes to Arch Manning at the college level. Obviously playing situationally there at Texas a year ago and getting the starts against, Louisiana Monroe as well as Mississippi State, which, again, aren't necessarily the best indication of how good somebody's going to be against stiff SEC competition. But again, there's a lot of hype around him. He was a 5-star, a lot of upside. People saying, hey, he could go on and be a first-round pick and all those kind of things. And, again, I've said this before. I'm not somebody that's buying in saying he's going to go out there and necessarily win the Heisman Trophy, but I do think Arch Manning can be a good college quarterback. And in my opinion, I feel like he can be good enough to potentially be that maybe third-best quarterback in the SEC behind Garrett Nussmeier and behind Lenore Sellers. But there's nothing wrong with projecting forward and going off of what you think these guys are going to end up being, and that's how I look at things with Lenore Sellers. I think at the end of the season, his results on the field are going to tell you that, hey, look at what he did, and I think those will stack up to being one of the, if not the best quarterbacks in the SEC. In case you thought the drama of conference realignment is over, not quite. Though this is not a conference adding a team, this is a conference denying a team that is a little questionable to me, if I'm being quite honest. If you've not read the story yet, Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports has a really good write-up about the University of Memphis and the Tigers' attempt to get into the Big 12 that at this time is being denied by the Big 12 Conference. So the details of this are pretty interesting. And by the way, Memphis is a university that's been trying pretty hard to get into other conferences. Believe they tried to get in the ACC. They were looking at the Pac-12, and they seem to have set their sights on becoming a member of Brett Yormark's Big 12 Conference and had a pretty lucrative offer that they were putting on the table to the Big 12 Conference that up to this point has been turned down. Their offer includes not receiving any television revenue for the final 5 years. By the way, this would go into effect in 2026 if they were to join the conference then. The no television revenue for the final 5 years of the Big 12's TV deal, which runs through 2031, bringing a proposed $150 million in sponsorship from companies like Lowe's and FedEx into the conference, and subjecting itself to expulsion after 2030, 2031 if the Big 12 deems it is not adding enough value to the conference. So essentially, they're kind of going with the SMU route here, who, again, SMU, who is also a part of the American Conference, basically bought their way into the ACC by saying, hey, don't worry about the television revenue. We'll pay our own way for, I think it's 5 years. And then they'll slowly start to gain television revenue as time goes along. But for the time being, they are truly footing their own bill in the conference. And it kind of seemed like that was a surefire thing, that if you can afford it, if you can bring enough money to the table to pay your own way in a conference, as far as the Power 5 go, you'll have the opportunity to join.